Molly and Javi.
Alright, as Brendan said, I'm Javi. This is Molly, or
Holly and
Holly
Molly.
and Molly. Alright, we're going to be giving the first session on where we're from. Me and Molly both come from very different kind of like cultures and kind of like towns. I come from a really small town. I live on a farm. Molly comes from all the way on the East Coast, Rhode Island. And based on kind of like where we came from and what we grew up doing, the kind of just the habits that we learned, we got involved in college in different ways and found eventually kind of just ended up in the same kind of boat area, just unintentionally. And we're gonna thus begin our talk to you where we came from.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, once again, because like 20 times, I'm Molly. I'm from a small town called Smithfield, Rhode Island. It's 20 minutes from Providence, but anything's 20 minutes from Providence, Rhode Island. So, seriously it is. So, I come from a large, lovable, loud Italian family. Anybody Italian? Raise your hands. Love it. Loud and proud, man. So I have my mom and my dad, my older sister. She's a senior at Syracuse University. And I have a little sister, well, not really. She's a 3-year-old mini dachshund, black and tan, really cute, love her to death. Anyways, I went to school at a very, very small elementary school. Graduating class was 15. And I was going on to high school. I knew my class was going to be around 300. I was like, oh my gosh, biggest change of my life. Not really until I went to college, but that's another story. So when I was in high school, I was involved with varsity basketball. I did theater, Christian service, all that kind of good stuff. And throughout high school, I went through different phases where I was really passionate about basketball for a while, and then I became really passionate about theater, and then I became really passionate about Christian service. So throughout high school, it's just really kind of confusing, especially when college came around. I didn't have a school where I was dead set on going, like, yeah, Syracuse, yeah, Michigan, or yeah, St. Mary's. I had no clue. So the school I went to was LaSalle Academy, run by the Christian Brothers, and one of my teachers was like, hey, check out St. Mary's College of California, run by the Christian Brothers, small school, you might like it. Okay, so I applied. Website was terrible. I was not going to apply. I was like, I can't find anything. Never mind, I'm going to apply to this school and go. So it's actually really funny because that's the only acceptance letter that I remember getting. So my dad's like, hey Molly, big envelope for St. Mary's, want to check it out? I was like, sure, whatever. I was in the tech shop at the time. He's like, yeah, you got in. Okay, cool, I'll see you at home. Alright. So the rule was I couldn't visit a school until I was accepted. So 2 schools that I really, really liked were St. Mary's University in Winona, Minnesota, which is actually the school that Rebecca went to, and then St. Mary's College, California, obviously where we all go. So, I hope. So as soon as I drove onto campus for St. Mary's College, I was like, I love this place. I'm going to be here. I don't know why, but I just have that vibe. It was gorgeous. It was just a really good atmosphere. Met some really cool people here. Went to a boys basketball game. Yes. So then I just fell in love, and my parents sent in the check, and I was a Gale. So that's how I got to St. Mary's. And so I traveled 3,000 miles, and now I'm living in Moraga. And that's how I got here in a very, very small section brief of my life so far. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thanks, Mavi.
Great.
Alright, okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about where I came from. I came from a small town called Fort Jones. My family lives on a 2,000-acre farm. It's just the 3 of us, actually, me, my mom, and my dad. I have 2 older siblings, 2 older sisters, and an older brother. My older sisters are like 10 years older than I am, so they went off to college when I was like in 4th grade, so that's all I really saw of them. So for the later part of my life, I was kind of like an only child. I have a brother that lives in Mexico. I see him every 4 years or something like that, so that's kind of awkward. So like it's like, hey brother. Anyways, so that's kind of like my family. My mom is Mexican. That's kind of like my name's Javi. You can't. Some people are like what are you? And they're like white. I'm like, no, I'm Mexican and white. And because my last name is Hanson, that comes from my dad's side. So half Mexican, half white, American, whatever you want to call it. And so that's where I live. That's a little bit about me. It's kind of like my family situation. I think in elementary school I was a little bit. I was introvert, and I didn't really kind of like have a lot of like other friends and stuff like that. And it wasn't until like junior high and high school that I started kind of like getting involved with different service clubs, different kind of like student bodies, stuff like that. And I think as soon as I started doing that stuff, I felt that I started kind of like getting friends that I could talk about things that you talk to friends about and stuff like that. And yeah. So in high school, 3 years of high school went by, and I realized it was like October and I hadn't applied to any colleges yet. I mean, I could have gone to a junior college, I could have gone to state school. Private schools was kind of like the last thing I was thinking about. Unlike Molly, I didn't know what LaSalle meant, or LaSallian. I didn't know what the Christian Brothers were. And I applied to a couple schools, Chico State being one of them. I was pretty set on going to Chico State. I had my Chico State running shorts and everything, and still have them. And so I thought I was going to Chico State for sure, like Party School USA, and I mean, I don't know if you guys have been able to kind of like get a sense of who I am so far, but I don't think that would emerge very well.
No.
Anyway, so when I applied to St. Mary's, and I knew I applied to St. Mary's, it became my first choice school, and I had no intention of going there unless I got a pretty big scholarship. I ended up getting a pretty big scholarship, and I was like, well, I can go to this school. I guess it is my first choice school, and if I'm gonna have most of it paid for, I might as well go there anyways. So I first heard about St. Mary's from my sister, whose best friend actually works at St. Mary's. She actually grew up next door to me, so that's the only one connection at St. Mary's. But now I have like 500 billion connections at St. Mary's. So
that many.
Yeah, that many.
That's impressive.
That's kind of the situation I was at when I arrived at St. Mary's. Just a couple friends here and there. Now, me and Molly actually for this talk picked out a couple songs. Being from the country,